Today we will discuss about the skin cancer pathogenesis and therapeutic targets. Some of this topic might be a revision to one of our previous videos. So let's start with what are the possible causes for skin cancer. So here are three major causes are mentioned here. First one is this modifiable risk factor. That is, sometimes the sunlight might cause the production of melanin that stimulates the melanocytes. Next one is the genetic risk factor. The because of the uh, because of the genetics of a person, uh, some persons are more prone towards this melanoma risk. And third one is about this UV radiations related skin cancer. What the UV radiation does is it will modify the DNA that will lead to the epigenetic changes. That is, uh, it will change the genes that are upregulated and downregulated. And that one of the ways by which this happens is that group of DNA is methyl transferase execute demethylation reactions and DNA methylation. So in short terms, the DNA methylations will promote the epigenetic changes, and that might occur in a way that will promote the skin cancer. So what will happen after that? There is a tumor vascularization, or there is a change in the structure of the skins occurs, and it will leak into the blood vessels and metastasize or spread across different part of the body. This is a general overview. What are the factors that cause skin cancers? And now we will understand through these UV radiations how this through the UV radiations that will cause the DNA damage. So there are two different UV rays, uh, that might cause skin cancer. First one is UV rays A and UV rays B, and they are distinguished based on their wavelength. UV rays A has longer wavelength, UV rays B has shorter wavelength. So longer wavelength UV rays will be able to penetrate more inside the skin and will cause indirect damage to the DNA that is within the skins, whereas shorter wavelength UV rays will cause damage on the top surface of the skin, that is direct damage to the DNA. So because of both of this, what will happen? It will cause oxidative stress that will lead to the inflammation or immune response, and over inflammations might cause these mutations in some of the cells that might thereafter it will proliferate, and that proliferation will lead to generation of this tumor microenvironment that has the immunosuppression properties. And after that, because of the immunosuppressions, the DNA damaged cells will be able to survive and spread across different part of the body. This is how the skin cancer progresses in general. Now, what are the different therapeutic target strategies that can be used to treat the skin cancers? Here we have discussed the one therapeutic approach, and this approach has also been discussed separately in one of our videos. You can refer to that videos through this I button. So in this therapeutic approach is called photodynamic therapy. In this case, uh, skin cancer patients where the skin cancer is visible are being administered with the help of this photosensitive compound to these tumor cells. The photosensitive compound, which are after they are collected in the pathologicals or damaged tissue cells, then they are exposed to the sunlight. And since this photodynamic cells has the property to trigger cytotoxicity or apoptosis once they are activated by the sunlight, or once they are activated by a light of a particular wavelength, radiation of a particular wavelength, then they will trigger apoptosis or a cytotoxicity effect that will lead to the death of the cells, and thereafter the dead cells will be killed, whereas healthy cells, since they are not interacted with this uh, photosynthetic compound, they will not get affected by this process. They will not get affected by exposure to the light of a suitable wavelength. So this is one of the approach that can be used to diagnose the skin cancer. If you need to understand more about this skin cancer pathogenesis and therapeutic targets, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. And if you need to understand more about this photodynamic therapy, you can go through our previous videos in order to understand how this photodynamic therapy works. So that's all for this video. Thank you for your time.